Hi, everyone. Glad you can join me this evening, this afternoon, this morning, whatever it may be for you. This is late afternoon here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So let's begin. We're going to start with a simple standing posture. Just allowing ourselves to breathe in to the feet. Relax your joints a little bit. Just let them be soft. Let yourself feel the ground that supports you. As we enter into our practice, let's begin to see what we can let go of, what we can recruit, what serves us, what doesn't serve us here. Feel your spine nice and tall, tailbone long, slight resist in the low belly to feel that internal support, supporting the spine. And let's go reach through the arms. Inhale. Long and lengthen the inhale breath right up into your fingertips from the earth. Feel the energy of the ground come through you all the way up into your fingertips. Charge at the fingertips. Hold your breath at the top of that inhale. Slowly exhale. Keep the arms raised. Let the exhale drop down through the body, down through the legs, into the feet, into the toes. And 2 more like that. Breathing in from the womb of the earth, letting all of that nurturing, supportive energy rise through you, connect to every cell, every fiber. Exhale, drop it down. Feel the anchor in your low belly as you breathe out. The anchor into your feet, into the ground, into the earth. 1 more. Inhale, breathe it up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Hold the breath. Feel the energy in the fingertips. Feel the energy throughout the body. The surface area of your skin tingles with the energy. You fully realize it. Letting it rise all the way up and let it descend all the way down. But feel as it descends downward with your breath. You feel the energy gathering at some central point. Let's call it the solar plexus, right in the area above your navel. And slowly let the hands descend down now. Just lighten the feet a little bit, and you can just take easy twists side to side. And again, just let the joints be nice and soft. Turn your head, gaze, look back. I was going to take this practice outside, and it's just too hot. Summer's really ramping up here in the Southwest. It doesn't want to seem to leave, so we took it inside today. Anyway, let's just take a moment here, just again to establish a standing pose. Feel the breath rise and fall. Allow your energy to fully rise up and meet you exactly as it is, without needing to improve it, without needing to change it. Everything simply is perfect just as it is. Feel all the circuitry beautifully connected, gathered and attentive, flooded with light, with ease, and everything becomes available. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale, follow your breath all the way out and down. Step the feet together, palms gathered at the heart. Let's join our voices for Om, breathing in and up. Om. Purnam Mudachate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good. So today's practice, we will actually be working with a bracket sequence. And it's going to just bring a little bit more of a continuity into the practice. I don't know how to get rid of this bubble. Let me see. Well, I hope that's not visible. So the bracket sequence is just going to link the postures together in a continuous way where we can kind of reestablish our breath, reestablish the feeling of our body, whatever's going on, whatever's rising up. And also just gives us a chance to recalibrate, to reset and refresh. So we're going to start and have your blocks because some of you might really prefer to use the blocks today. Let's go ahead and inhale. Rise the arms here, reach out and up through the fingertips, engage the quads and reach down into the feet. Really press into the toes, press back into the heels so that the energy of the arches rises up. Feel that connect to the pelvic floor base. Let that lift up. Exhale, and let's fold down. Take a nice, easy fold. Keep your knees bent, and you'll have your palms down. You can be on your fingertips, or again, you can use the blocks. So whatever gives you a sense of firmness below the palms or the fingertips. So feel free to use your blocks. I'm just going to set them aside for now. I'm going to use my fingertips and just prong onto the fingertips. We're going to keep the knees bent and inhale. I'm going to bring a little arch to the upper spine. Just feel a lot of ease in the low back. We're going to concentrate the arch into the mid and upper back here. So feel like the area behind your breastbone is the area of your spine that's actually creating the back bend. Scoop the navel to support the lower back spine. And then go ahead and exhale and draw down over your legs. Keeping a little bit of space between your inner heels, the big toes can come together. Drop your head down. So feel the weight forward and back, coming into your toes, back into your heels, and maybe a little side to side. The next part of the sequence is we're going to drop the hips and rise the heart, rise the arms on your inhale breath. This chair squat, power pose here. You want to really feel as we exhale that everything firms on the lower body. So really feel the strength that's working into the belly of all of those muscles, especially the thighs, the glutes, the hips. Scoop the belly back to maintain that support of your low back spine. Next, we're going to interlap the fingers, press out through the arms and rise up. Push into the feet, engage the quads, lift up. Gentle back bend here. Again, think of creating the arch right behind the breastbone. And then we're going to reverse those hands behind. Take the interlace. Keep the heart lifted and exhale. We're going to lead with the chest as we roll the chest towards the legs. Knees are bent. And then again, drop out through the head, release the neck, and let the fists rise up. And if any time these arm positions are not working for you, just take a modification to your choice. Let's release the hands down. So that's the bracket sequence. We're going to come back and visit that. And that's just going to use, we're going to use that as a link again to kind of thread all of the postures together. Let's take a big step back with the right foot. And then lower down on the back knee. Nice and soft here. Soft lunge. Let go of the shoulders. Let the back gently round and drop your head. Arms are doing nothing really right now. And now for your next inhale, you're going to really push through the palms. Engage the belly, engage that solar plexus. Rise it up into the spine. You feel a mounding in the upper back as you broaden the shoulders apart. And stay here for a full breath in, full breath out. Really push. And then inhale, lift the back leg, and start to turn your way to the long edge of the mat. Take an inhale, hands are propped, and also you can walk your block here to lift halfway. Keep a brace against the spine so belly stays active. And exhale, let's take a forward fold. The knees can bend gently here if you need to. Drop the head down. Stay for another full inhale. Full exhale. Again, you can send the weight forward towards the toes, back towards the heels. Feel the difference, what happens in the front of the legs, what happens to the muscles in the backs of the legs as you shift direction forward and back. Let's walk forward. Back to that bracket sequence, step up. Inhale, pull the chest through the gate of the upper arms. Exhale, take your forward fold. Keep your knees bent as much as you need to or as long as you need to here. Rise up with the chest and down with the hips. Rise the arms or keep the arms softer if you need to. Inhaling and exhaling. Interlock the hands, reach up, big pull up through the arms. Look up, back bend here. Exhale, reverse it down. Stay long through the length of the spine. Lift up through the tailbone, drop the head down towards the toes. Hands come down. Let's take a big step back with the left foot. Softly drop into our soft lunge here. Bow your head. Firm into the arms, push from the shoulders, push the floor away from you, scoop the belly. And then pick up the back knee, turn to the opposite side of the long edge of your mat. Feel the lift halfway, lengthen the gaze forward. Follow through, exhale, and fold. I'll just turn to face you. Let's bring a little lubrication into the hips for this one. So just go side to side, just gently bending your knees, working into the hip, the inner and outer structure of the hips. So working medially and laterally, both. I like to actually draw a little bit of a figure 8 with my pelvis. And you can lower down a little more each time if that feels good. Otherwise, stay higher and just keep yourself supported. Good, turn to the front side of your mat again. Step the back foot in, go back to the bracket pose. Inhale, a halfway lift, but we're adding a little bit of a back bend component here. Exhale and forward fold down your two legs. Rise the energy of the heart up and through the fingertips as you drop down into your seat. Feeling the pull downward towards the earth, towards grounding, and the rise upward towards lifting, towards expanding and expressing. Interlock the hands. Let's reach, pull up, use the arms, engage the legs, look up, bend back, bending behind the heart muscle. And then go ahead and roll down, bending deeply into the knees, leading with the chest. Lifting the tailbone higher each time, sending the crown of the head down further towards your toes. Release the hands here. Adding on, we're going to take a big step back. Soften down with the knee. Soft lunge here. Let go. Push strongly through the palms, engage the arms, engage the shoulders, engage and scoop the belly up against your spine. And hold. Breathe it out. Watch yourself exhale. And then go reach through the back heel, lower the back heel. We're going to rise up right into warrior two here. Reach a little bit longer through the right fingertips. So that's going to correct the spine so that spine pulls more parallel instead of leaning forward that we often do in warrior two. Make sure you have the right distance between your feet. If you need to adjust, go ahead and do that. Make sure the toes are slightly angled in of the back foot. Lower down, but stay wide across the hips, wide through the arms from fingertip to fingertip. Softly turn your gaze. Bring some softness into your warrior, as much as strength. They require two. They require both qualities. Keep lowering down. Get lower, get wider. And let's go and tilt it back. Opening up the whole left side waist, going into the ribs, the intercostal muscles that connect the ribs. Cartwheel the arms forward, lift off the back heel, and go into a twist. Let's bring a little air under the right hip, adjust the hips, and adjust the neck by looking down softly and keeping that length in the neck. Go look up, back to your thumb. Reach long through the left arm. You can use a block. Artichandrasana. Press down and off your left foot to rise the right leg. Really engage that left leg, the left quad grabs the bone and pulls the muscle up into the hip. Really stay strong in that leg. Also, there's a lot of activity in the back leg, the lifted leg. Almost feel like you're pressing onto an imaginary wall. See if you can lighten out of your left fingertips or hand. Make the core do more of the work of stabilizing here. One more breath in. Exhale, release down towards your mat. Draw the knee in. Make a really nice tight tuck. Come up on the left toes, lift the left heel, and concentrate that tuck. Lower down the heels right away. Your bracket sequence fits right in. Inhale. Exhale, fold down your legs. Rise up, sit down and back. Balance out the energy of rising with the energy of rooting. Soften the shoulders. Lift the energy of the heart up and through the arms, out the fingertips. Like an offering. Interlace the hands. You can take the opposite interlace here. Press into the feet, engage the quads, rise all the way up. Take the hands back. Reverse it down. Slowly release. Let's take the left leg back. Look forward and then soften it all down. Soften the arms, the shoulders, let the back round, let the head drop. Then engage through the arms, through the shoulders, through the solar plexus. Pick up the belly into the spine. Pick up the side waist. Feel that beautiful curve you're creating in your back. And then lengthen out the back leg. Keep the back leg really strong as you rise up, sweeping the arms right into your warrior two, but adjust the legs if you need to. Making sure there's proper distance of your feet to get more out of the pose. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. Reach more into the left fingertips. Engage in the outer back foot. Sink down even more. Widen the left hip away from the right hip. Get a little lower, get a little wider. Stabilize and soften. Palm faces up to tilt back, opening up the right side waist. Squeeze the left glute and spin the arms down. Lift the back heel up and take your twist. Lift the left hip a little. Lengthen down. Look down to your left fingertips and back up just to adjust the length of the neck. Make sure you have a block, if you need it, off to the right corner of your mat as you come up into that Artichandrasana, half moon. You can play with half moon if you feel really stable. Start to lighten out your right fingers. Maybe you can just float your arms. Make sure the back leg, the lifted leg, is just as strong as your right leg. Keep the belly active. Start to turn towards your mat. Hug the knee in as you exhale. Rise up on your right toes. Squeeze it all in. Lower down right into that bracket sequence. Inhale. Lift the chest, scooping the belly. Exhale and fold. You might be opening up the backs of the legs a little more now. Fold in. Drop the hips, rise the heart, any arms. Firm the belly back. Squeeze the outer hips and glutes. Interlace the palms, rise up. Use the inhale to open the chest, open the shoulders. Exhale and roll down. Let go. Let's plant the palms. Take a step back, the right foot and the left foot. Let's find plank pose here. Press through the arms, through the palms, and use the shoulders to press. Good. Come forward and back a little, side to side. Notice any running commentary that's going on. Engage the front of your legs. Engage your heels. Find the strength that holds this pose and then let go of what you don't need. Really separate the work that's required from the work that's not required. See where your thoughts fit into that paradigm. This can always be a knee down plank, by the way. This is what that should look like. Otherwise, keep the knees lifted. Let's come forward. Creep the shoulders forward. Then drop the knees softly down. Bring the chest between the palms. Keep the hips up in the air. And bring the chin forward. So this is Astanga Namaskar. So Ashtanga, or ashta, means 8. So we look for the 8 contacts on the ground. Chin, chest, 2 palms, 2 knees, 2 feet. Scoop the low belly. Again, we want that support for the low back spine. Point the toes, push the hips down and rise the heart. Forward and up, cobra. And you can play with your cobra here. Arms can come forward. Keep the tailbone lengthening back. Keep the spine deepening forward. Keep the tone in the abdomen. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And just feel where you can adjust. Take a moment just to kind of relax a little or take a break in your back bend and just readjust back. Can you firm more in your low belly? Pick that up a little bit. Can you lengthen out of your low back spine? Can you build the back bend, build the arch to lift up and out of your low back spine, up and away from your pelvis? And then let's descend slowly down. So finding length, even more length. Activate your fingertips so you can pull yourself forward and down to the floor. And palms under the shoulder heads. Let's press into the toes. Go back to child's here. Active arms, press through the palms. Keep the elbows lifted. And settle your forehead down. Let your thoughts, let the activity of the mind find a place of rest and stillness for a moment. Good, let's come forward into cow spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press into the toes, lift the hips, and come back to down dog. So first down dog, just work to the palms, side to side a little bit. Feet side to side. You can start shifting, dropping the hips down, right and left. Just letting them sag a little bit towards the floor. And then set it up with wide feet. You might need to shorten your stance a little bit on this down dog. Press into the left palm and reach back or tap to your left toes or hold to your outer left ankle. Pull and turn. So you're bringing a twist, rotating the vertebrae, looking under your left arm. And then coming out of that, adjust again, sending the hips up and back, tailbone lifts, sit bones nice and wide, press into the right hand, start to release out of the left, maybe just tap and bring it back, or hold if you can stabilize when you have enough strength, and then just start to turn your abdomen towards the right. Adjust your hips so they stay even and balanced. Breathe into it. And release back. Good. Let's bring the feet a little closer together and a little bit back if you brought them in or shortened your stance a little bit. And take a few kind of pulses where you open the shoulders. Don't do anything that causes strain. Be good to yourself. That's why they call it a practice. Good. Let's go ahead and step the right foot now outside of your right hand. You're going to open up the legs and the hips a little bit more, taking lizard pose. And so let the hips melt down and forward. You can rock from side to side a little bit if you'd like. Tug your chest forward. If you want to go a little deeper in this, press into the back toes to lift the knee and draw the leg back a little bit and then lower again. So we're just creating more distance from the inner right knee to the inner left knee. And then you can go ahead and do that again if that felt okay. You can also drop down onto your forearms, outer then inner. Wherever you are, stay for a couple more breaths. Just make it about the breath and not actually the pose, but adjust as you need to. The breath and what you do with your body are always compatible. Let's come back up. And let's bring the foot back and come into plank pose again. Okay, work into the plank. Really mound the upper back. Really firm the ribs in. Almost feel like you're hollowing out your front body. Hold it here. Build a plank that can hold up the world. You can hold up the suffering of those who need support. Be there with them. Again, bring your knees down if you need to. And creep forward. Lower down onto the knees, tap down. Take the seat back to the heels and find child's pose here. Rest the mind. Come up, you can go to down dog to step the left foot forward, or you could just simply step it forward to the outside of your left hand from child's pose. And then just move around a little bit in it to open up the inner groin. So this is working the medial hip, the inner hip. And we'll work the lateral hip towards the end of practice today. Pick up the back knee, lengthen, and lower. Keeping the chest always lifted, pulling forward. Activate your fingertips. It's really going to help you to kind of grab the mat to give yourself a little bit of leverage to drag the heart forward. And lift up the back knee one more time, maybe. And try to get maximally in the legs here. Lower down on the forearms if you'd like. And we'll stay here for another 3 breaths. And bring little oscillations into the movement wherever you need to adjust. Last breath, follow your exhale all the way. And then slowly come up. Yeah, let's step the left foot back. Find again your plank pose here. Come forward, lift the hips and press back, down dog. And the knees can bend a little bit here if you'd like. You can roll it out, just like an ocean wave. Exhale, lift the hips and fold it back, down dog. And one more time like that. Stay strong, stay firm. Keep bracing the front body against the back body. Work the 2 sides of the body together. Good, coming forward, creep forward to lower the knees and lower the chest again between the palms. Stay here. This time we can add a little bit more challenge to the pose by walking the knees closer in. Lifting the hips up even higher. So we want to really bring attention to the low belly here. So that's going to just balance out any feeling of crunchiness or overarching in the low back spine. Draw the chin up, extend out, and lower down. So we could stay here or play with different positions of the arms. Back. Or maybe forward. So take your time here. This really requires a lot of opening in the shoulders. So if your shoulders are really tight, this probably isn't a pose you'd like to do, at least today. Adjust to the throat, lengthen out, lower the chin down. Remember those 8 points we're using. Walk the knees in a little bit more if you'd like, keeping your attention to the lower abdomen. Keep a nice tone and feel that support. This also has another name called Anahatasana, like heart. Anahata is the word for heart. And so this is just the heart lowering into the ground and feeling that connection to the earth. And it's almost like the pulse of Mother Earth. This feels against the pulse of your own body. It's kind of a really beautiful, soft connection to the earth, to that idea of being held and supported. And then slowly come out of this pose. So slide your palms back if they're forward. Take your time. We'll press through strong arms to come right up into cow. Nothing else changes. Exhale, drive the navel in and up, round, and push the floor away. Just like we were doing with those lunges, and then press the hips back to the heels. Really get maximum length here in the side waist. So lift one arm, lengthen it forward, lift the opposite arm, lengthen it forward and lower. Let's come forward into our plank. Again, it could be a knee down plank. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Press it out. Take the feet just a little bit wider, and then just turn the right toes out slightly. Right heel is in, and we're going to reach back with our right hand. So maybe again, just tap and just work into your strength little by little, back and forth. If you can stay there and hold and you feel stable, we're going to start to slowly point through the left toes and lift the left leg. Keep your gaze soft and just straight down. Keep lifting through the toes, press with the right heel to find more height. And slowly lower. Readjust your right palm, take the hips up and back, feel a little symmetry in your down dog before we do the opposite side. So turn in the left heel slightly, press into your right arm, right palm strong. Slowly reach back or just tap back and forth just to build that strength slowly. Gaze down and forward, nice and soft. The more you push down with your left heel, the more the right leg can rise. Belly stays toned. And take it down. Adjust the hips up and back, bend the knees. So a little squat back, really strong arms. Press out, open the armpits, turn the knees to the right and take it down into a squat. Let your abdomen turn and revolve to the left as the knees go to the right and come through. Turn out the knees to the left. Do the same thing, revolve your abdomen to the right. Let's do it a few more times each side. Go with your breath. It's a nice twist to really wake up the spine. Feels great. And let's look forward softly. Take a nice inhale, exhale deeply, smoothly, completely. Hold empty. Step or hop. And let's go back to that bracket. Inhale. Pull the chest through. Exhale, fold down your legs. Rise the arms, rise the heart, lower the hips. Chair squat. Palms together. Pull up, inhale. And reverse it down, exhale. Let go of the arms here. Big breath in. Step the right foot back. Turn out to face the long edge of your mat. Good. Pull the legs apart. Get wider. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and take a deeper fold. Feel that you're really folding the hips over the tops of your thighs. Trying to get that hinge deeper. Head could come down. You could do anything you'd like here. Just press the palms and send the hips back. You can go into a little inversion if you like. Setting it up in tripod, or the hands can clasp and you'll bring the back of your head in. Whatever you do, do it with deliberation, with your full attention. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and deeper fold. Good, let's turn forward. Let's bring back the bracket sequence. Inhale, pull through. Exhale, fold. Rise up and root down, chair pose. Exhale, firm everything on your lower body. Interlace the hands, rise up. Push the ground away. Exhale, roll the chest down. Good, release the hands. Let's step the right foot back. Lower and ground the back heel. We're going to come up into warrior two. Good, a little interval drill that I'm just going to fit in here. Come up, press the palms lightly overhead. Turn out the back toes just slightly, bend the back knee deeply. Rock on your left heel and come down into a side squat. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, back up. Sink down, warrior two. Push up, raise the toes, and deepen down into your side squat. Do it 1 more time. Building a little heat. Up and down. Now let's spin the arms down, step the back foot in, go back to your bracket. Inhale, pull the chest through. Exhale, deeper fold. Rise up, arms, lower down hips. Exhale, squeeze everything together. Pull with the arms, lift up, press with the feet. Scoop the belly as you roll the chest down. Let's step the left foot back. Right away, anchor the heel and come right up into your warrior two pose. Sink down, get wider. Stand up, tap the arms above you, high warrior. Back to your left leg. As you sink, come up and lower down. 2 more times. Go with your breath. Stay even. Stay quiet in your mind. 1 more. Spin the arms. And step the back foot in. Inhale, pull the chest through. Gauge the fingertips. Exhale, fold down your legs. Really open the backs of the legs. Sink down, rise up. Take your inhale. Exhale, strengthen. Pull with the fists. Rise up. Bring the back bend behind the heart. And roll, scooping the belly. Drop the head forward. All right, we're going to step back and rise up. So the next sequence, we'll work the back of the mat to the front of the mat. And we'll start with our warrior one pose towards the back of your mat. So shift your left hip forward and draw the right hip back. So you really want to feel balanced in your hips. Straighten the front leg for a moment to really feel the connection with the back body. Really feed the front body into the back body. Let the back body hold this pose. Let it start here. Rise the arms, big breath. And then send into the right knee as you bend. Keep a strong push through the outer back heel. Warrior one is a back bend, but it's also a great hip opener. Really feel it open the front of your left hip flexor. Breathe into it. The breath expand and lift even into the deeper level of your organs. Feel your intestines lift on that left side. And slowly use your exhale breath. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, staying firm in that outer back foot as you come all the way down, following your exhale breath out. Lower the palms. We're going to use that strong push through the floor. Open up the back of the shoulders and scoop the belly in, carving it up into your rib cage. Drop the head. Full inhale, full exhale. Let's reverse out of this. Pull through the arms. Take a slow inhale from that extended back leg, the push from the back heel and the front foot, then all the way up and find extended side angle. Lowering down, letting that left hip open away from the right hip. Carve the pinky finger down and towards the floor. Good, reach, lower the back knee down. Twist open to the right. Squeeze the right hip back. Open out and fill the chest. You can gaze over your right thumb. Maybe reach for the back heel. Come forward right away back to our extended side angle. And then one more time down. Open out. Maybe this time you can fully extend through the right leg, pushing through the heel, flexing the right toes, and steering the right hip back and also down. So we even the hips. They're on the same line, same level. Breathe in and out. Back to extended side angle. You can take a different position with the arms or use your block if you'd like. And then reach long. Grab your block if you need it. We're going up to revolved Artichandrasana. Use and squeeze the inner thighs here, the adductor muscles. You can bend the back knee and hold. Lighten up on your lower hand if you can. Just test it out. Work a little bit more deeper into your core muscles to hold this pose for you. And then trying a little bit of bending in and tapping the left knee or left knee against the right heel and back up, taking your twist. Let's do that 2 more times. Play with maybe no arms here. Whoa. Beautiful. And step way back. Walk yourself between your legs. And for a moment, just take a forward fold. Steeze out of it. Wiggle, waggle, whatever you need to do. Find some softness and smoothness through the joints. And then bring the hands to the hips, rise up. Let's take a back bend before we go to the opposite side. So use the push of the heels of your palms against your upper glutes. Smooth the upper glutes downward so we feel a rooting. Lift the navel point up. Squeeze with the legs. Use the legs. Strong legs here to support the back bend. Lift the navel up to the chest. Lift the chest up towards the chin. Then guide the eyes upward. All the while using the heels of your palms to press down towards your tailbone. Quads engaged. Keep lifting. Keep grounding. Don't overuse the eyes here. You can walk yourself down a little. Keep lifting through the chest. Walk yourself up, keep that low belly support. And turn the left foot out. Let's find our warrior one facing front. Connect with the back body. Back body represents the universal support. Front body represents individual. So see if we can come out of this idea of this separate self and bring ourselves into the feeling of this universal support. Trust in the unknown. Then rebend that left knee, rise the arms up. Take a big inhale here. Open up the front of that right hip flexor. Breathe down into the organs. All of the organs also are part of these postures. They just work at a deeper level. So we just often only think about these postures and working through the muscles, the tendons and the ligaments, bones. But we really often don't even think about the organs and how they have to move and stretch into these positions as well. And that most of these positions in yoga were really formulated to work against the organs, to bring pressure or to bring a twist, to open and bring some contraction into the organs, to work the blood flow and circulation there. So really allow your awareness to sit down deeper in your body and connect with yourself on that level. Slowly exhale, draw the arms all the way forward, keep connected to that back outer foot. Stay long here as you breathe out. Watch yourself exhale, breathe out. Stamp your two palms into the earth. Rise up your chest into your shoulder blades. Rise your belly up into your low back. Curve your spine away from the floor. Feel your strength, but bring some softness and ease here. Let's reverse it back. Pull through. Don't lose the back leg. All the way up. Big breath. And then right away into our extended sine angle. Remember not to dump into the shoulder. You always want to stay lifted and using the least amount of force by working more of the core. More of the muscles along the spine, using the transversus that pressurizes the spine, that pressurizes the trunk, and keeps us floating. And let's go down on the back knee. Take our first twist. You can stay here. You can take just a gentle reach back by just holding on to the back of your sacrum or going a little further, reaching towards the back heel. Make sure this right hip comes forward. And let yourself curl back. Opening out, lifting the eye of the heart. Inhale through, transition to extended side angle. Keeping open with that right hip. And then back down. Following through with a straighter leg on the left side, this time really driving the left hip back. Flexing the left toes. Staying nice and tall in the spine. Keep the hips lifting easily. Don't let that right hip sink. One more time to extended side angle. And then right away, lifting off the right toes to spring into your revolved half moon. Really great stretch for the outer left thigh, the IT band. Bend the back knee if you choose. Bring a little bit more stretch to the front of the right quad. And then taking those little taps and lifting and tap. Keep the belly active. Maybe no hands here. Tap. And bring the hands down, step the feet together. Nice work. And let's drop the hips down. Let the heels rise up. Have a little alarm set. The heels rise up in Malasana. Spread the knees wide and drop your weight a little bit more forward. So if you have trouble with bringing the heels down, there's a lot of components to that stretch that are involved. So it could be the back of the lower legs. It could be the hips. It could be the ankles. It could be a lot of things. It could be the plantar fascia. So take your time with this. And if your heels are really lifted, just walk your hands out further, drop the weight of your head forward, and just push back towards the heels and come out of it, back and forth. And eventually you'll work there. Otherwise, lower down into the heels, spread the knees wide, big toes together, and stay here, dropping down. Really scoop the belly, retract the rib cage upward and into the body. So we're creating all of that support for this beautiful rounded back that we're creating. You can bring the hands behind and hold the heels to draw the head further down towards the floor. Really scoop the belly. Notice where the body meets resistance. Notice where the mind meets resistance. See if you can create a shift. Good, and let's slowly lower down. Beautiful. Hold the knees. Use the legs as leverage to lengthen the spine upward through the crown of the head. Softly gaze side to side, turning the neck easily, making sure there's nothing kind of crunchy going on with your neck and your shoulders, creating some distance. Good, breathe the belly into the thighs, exhale, and contract the belly back away from your thighs. All right, so we're going to do some boat crunches. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left. You can take your fingers back for support. This is going to be the exhale, and to lengthen back is going to be the inhale. So keep your hands for support if you need it, or you can hold your legs to go back and up, or you can just reach out through the fingertips. We're going to take 5. So inhale, exhale and up. 2. Pull up, firm in those ribs. In, out. Last one. And Sukhasana here. So the right leg stays crossed over the left. Let's take little circles with the spine, with the chest. Take them 3 in one direction and go in the opposing direction. As big or small, that feels good for you. Good, inhale here. And let's take the right leg now and we'll work into cradle. This is a great hip opener. It's pretty much just like a different type of pigeon pose, same figure 4 leg. So we can keep it, depending on your hip mobility, you can keep it pretty loose and just work it side to side. Or you can tighten it up. You can go for tightening it up. So bringing the shin across the body. It's more or less parallel with my collarbones. And press the crook of the elbow against the inner arch of the right foot. Keep the right foot really flexed here. Keep your spine nice and tall. Draw in and up, and take 2 more breaths for me. Keep pressing through the foot, keeping the ankles active. And then we'll work into compass here. This is kind of a fun pose to work. So if you don't have the shoulder, kind of more or less strength of the shoulders, but it's also shoulder mobility comes into it. You'll just work, and I'll just turn a little bit. So you'll hold the foot and just bring the knee back. So it's right under the right armpit. And you just want to work that. So you can stay here and work that mobility. Driving the knee back a little bit deeper each time. And eventually you'll be able to get to a point where you can lift and bring the shoulder underneath the calf. Walk the right hand out, and holding the right foot with the left arm, you'll twist yourself away from the right leg. So you're twisting to the left, leaning into the right arm, down into the right palm, twisting to the left. Lean and twist away. It's a really great deep twist. You feel the whole GI tract, all the muscles, but even deeper. So all of the organs that constitute the GI tract, getting a beautiful rinse. And then we can go into a fun balance. This is called Astanga Namaskar or Astavakrasana. Okay, so the left ankle is going to hook on top of the right. You're going to lean, push down into your palms, so chaturanga arms. Keep the upper outer arms really firming in as you stretch the legs out to the right. You could look right or turn the gaze to look left. Come out of it nice and easy. Take a moment. Relieve your wrists if you need to. And then we'll go the opposite side. So left on top of right. We'll go back to those 5 pulses, either holding the legs or having the support of the hands behind or arms reach out. Okay, so let's go for 5. And up. 4. And pull in. 3. 2. 1. And done. Left leg crosses over right for just an easy seated pose. Let's just begin our circles. 3 in one direction. And 3 in the opposing direction. Nice, let's work the cradle now. So either a looser variation of this cradle, or you can go ahead and tighten it up. Activate the ankles, inner and outer ankles. Good, big breath here. And then going for that compass twist, or just working the knee behind. Okay, so you're either going to stay here and just work into that flexibility and strength that you need, or you're just going to go for it, working the shoulder underneath push against your muscle to create a little more space. Lean into your left palm and turn to the right. Lean, push, and turn, keeping your chest lifting, keeping your belly super toned as it twists, feeling all of the organs that make up that twist, that go along into that twist. Think about all the good that's happening there. Refreshing all of the organs of digestion. And then working into our Astavakrasana pose, pushing off the hands, lifting the hips up, and wrapping the right ankle on top of the left. Lean and lower. And really push out through the legs to the left. Maybe turn the gaze to the right. And come down. Nice. I forgot to do one thing with the cradle pose that I wanted to show, so I'll just quick do that. And this is for those that had a tighter version of the cradle. And this I call supported double pigeon. So you're going to bring your left leg into pigeon pose so that the shin is more or less aligned with the top edge of your mat. Take the foot in the same way, bring the shin across the body. So we keep the shins both evenly parallel and take an exhale and start to slowly come down. Keeping a nice tight hold. And you're going to land with your arms on your bottom leg. Drop your head. Take 3 breaths. So those of you that don't have this variation, you can just do a nice forward bend with your right leg crossed in front of your left leg in Sukhasana. And hinge deeply at the hips. You'll still get a great stretch in the back of that right glute. So breathe down and into that glute, into that hip. Notice if there's any clenching in the jaw, just take a ha breath to let that go. And then push down into the bottom leg to pick up the top leg. And we'll just change sides. Shake it out a little. Again, position your right leg as per pigeon with the shin parallel to the top edge of the mat, and then hook in for your cradle. Tighten everything up as much as you can, but stay easy in the breath and tall in the spine. Inhale and exhale. Let's come down. Nice and slow. Keeping the outer and inner ankles engaged. Your feet are flexed. That's always going to support the torsion in the knee. Push down into the bottom leg and take an inhale to come up. And release. Nice. So we're going to end practice with a few back bends, and we could use some blocks here. If you don't have blocks, you can use a stack of anything or some pillows or blankets or just firm towels. You want a little bit of density here. So we'll lower down onto the back. Step the feet a little close in. And lift the hips and settle the block right underneath the hips, right at the sacrum, that keystone joint that joins the 2 halves of the ilium, the 2 side hip bones together. So it's a really important bone, and this is a really nice way to settle it and even it out if there's any torsion that disturbed it during our practice. We'll take a few moments here. Let the full weight of your hips and pelvis really dissolve down into that block or whatever you're using for support. Bring the hand softly at the belly. Take a deep breath. Exhale, send the belly down, hollowing it out. You can stay here. You can adjust the block on a higher level or work different heights if you're looking for a little bit more sensation in your pose. Work into the back of the skull and lift the chest up. Let it arch away from the floor and just gather the shoulder blades. Let the shoulder blades retract or adduct, come together, right? They close in on each other to come more center into the back. And that's really a great bony support. That's what we need for our back bend. So it's just a great support for any heart opening, really. And just keep lifting the chest up towards the chin. Again, you can play with your height. So if that feels good and you want a little bit more of sensation, you can work it onto the top height. That open the front of the hip flexors. Hip flexors correspond to protecting, to defending, guarding, right? And we have that kind of day-to-day normalcy in our life because we live in these crazy times of uncertainty and living in cities and living with our fast-paced life. So this is part of our karma of this era. We can find ways to soften against all of that defensiveness, all that guarding, all that protection, finding moments of letting go, finding moments of being receptive to what is, finding moments of opening our heart, flowing into compassion, not only for others, but compassion is also for ourselves. We are always included in that state of compassion. So those of you who would like, everybody has different practices, and depending what time of the day this is, you might want a little bit more stimulation, a little bit more of a back bend. You can bring the palms beside your ears, turning the fingers back. And come on to the top of the head. Feel the fingertips in the floor, press into the inner palms, and spin your triceps. Lifting up, maybe going forward and back a bit. Please squeeze the glutes. Glutes are our main hip extensors. So we don't want to overuse them, but we need to use them. And follow through the back bend behind your heart and really feel more of the arch there behind the breastbone. Again, using the support of the shoulders. Let's come out of it nice and slow. I just dropped my earpiece. Back in. Back in the saddle. Press into your feet, lift the hips, and slowly lower down, carve the belly down as we go down to the floor. Bring the inner knees together to touch. Keep the palms gently on your belly. And we'll take a nice little massage here on the belly. I'm just going to sit up to show you the hands. So you're going to spread the fingers apart. Keep the palms on either side of the navel and just work pressure. So you're just kind of lifting lightly and going in a circle from the left side, the ascending colon, over the transversus colon at the top, and then connecting down into the left side to the descending colon. Going across the bottom below the belly button, up the right side, over and down the left. And not using too much or generating too much pressure here. And this is a really nice way to just kind of follow through or even It's kind of working into a sense of deepening into your organs, into the systems of the body, into your digestive system, and just becoming more familiar. So this is really a fun practice that you can bring in to this sense of, I was reading this book the other day about Ayurveda, and there's a practice called Dinacharya, and it's usually a suite of practices that people individualize depending on their dosha, whether they're kapha, pitta, or vata, or depending on the seasons. So it changes continuously, but it also kind of goes with the type of person you are personality-wise. So everybody has slightly different formulations for their Dinacharya. And I thought this one was really kind of cute because it was about waking up in the morning and giving time to your belly, to consider your belly. And I just thought that was so great because it's really a wonderful way of not only opening up to yourself on that deep level and familiarizing yourself, because so many people are just really not in touch. And if you start your day like just considering or reflecting or observing the state of your belly, which really, as science is proving so much now, has a lot to do with our immunology. So it's really worth the effort of giving yourself a few moments and just kind of playing with, wow, you know, what do I feel like? What state am I in when I go into my belly? Is it full? Did I overeat last night? Do I need to eat now? Do I need to go to the bathroom right away? Do I feel sluggish? Really just asking yourself these set of questions and reflecting on the state of your belly. I think it's cute, but I think it's also a really great service, self-service to do as part of any normal routine. So I hope you work on that a little bit, or at least give it a try, and you can kind of smile to yourself. Let's bring the palms together, gather them at the heart. You can stay in Shavasana if you'd like now. I'm just going to end with one of the Shanti prayers from the Upanishads. Purnat Purnam Mudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnam is fullness, fullness of spirit, fullness of self, fullness of being with yourself, being with others, and feeling truly connected at the very deepest level. So thank you so much for joining me. Hands to heart, hands to offer. Namaste.